away from a big event on the National Mall. President Trump is holding a rally to kick off the Great American State Fair. This is the same event that several musical guests were set to perform. And Katie, what are the crowds like there?
A few moments later.
Now the largest producer of oil and gas on earth, larger than Russia and Saudi Arabia by far combined.
Sure, we have an ongoing war, an affordability crisis and crippling healthcare costs, but the real problem that needs addressing is crowd sizes at Trump events and whether or not people stayed to the very end.
Donald Trump just posted on Truth Social claiming that 45,000 people were at his rally last night on the National Mall. He also said that every single person that was there stayed until the end of his speech. But that couldn't be further from the truth.
Donald Trump is once again focused on the most urgent issues facing the United States, whether people stayed until the end of his recent speech and whether the television networks showed enough people applauding, because after footage revealed empty space at Trump's Great American State Fair rally, before then videos went viral of people leaving while he was still speaking.
Now the largest producer of oil and gas on earth, larger than Russia and Saudi Arabia by far combined. And under my most favored nation agreement on drug prices, we are delivering the largest reduction in drug price history with price differences of 400, 500, and even 600%. Who would think that if you took down 0.5%, somebody said you would...
Trump, of course, went on to Truth Social and insisted that everybody stayed until the end. Don't believe what your eyes are telling you. Because, of course he did. Donald Trump can tolerate war, he can tolerate chaos, he can tolerate international humiliation. But an empty chair or open space at his rallies, that requires an immediate presidential response. The Daily Beast reported that shortly before Trump appeared, cameras showed significant empty space on the National Mall. An hour before the speech, the grassy area was reportedly only around half full. Footage later then showed attendees moving towards the exits while he was still speaking. A reporter at the event posted that the crowd had, quote, really thinned out after Trump began. And the Truth Social post highlighted after the event, Trump insisted that everyone stayed until the end, which to me, that tells you that he saw the videos and so he had to work on the alternate facts at hand.
Donald Trump just posted on Truth Social claiming that 45,000 people were at his rally last night on the National Mall. He also said that every single person that was there stayed until the end of his speech. But that couldn't be further from the truth. I was there last night on the mall while Trump was giving his speech, and I took this video of people leaving the rally in droves. Take a look for yourself.
And under my most favored nation agreement on drug prices, we are delivering the largest reduction in drug price history with price differences of 400, 500, and even 600%. Who would think that?
Trump's claim that 45,000 people were there for his speech last night is a massive overestimation. Take a look at this picture that I took while Trump was still on stage speaking. Does that look like 45,000 people? Because it sure doesn't to me. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think Trump's telling the truth about the crowd, or does the video evidence tell a different story?
To me, this is an extraordinary glimpse into the man's priorities. He was standing in the National Mall to mark America's 250th anniversary. And again, his thoughts, as they usually are dominated by popularity and crowd sizes, not the current state of affairs in the country that he should be speaking to.
And then the Wall Street Journal had a report that Iran is definitely stuck on charging for ships transiting through the Strait of Hormuz, and that they're planning on making billions of dollars by doing that. And suddenly oil reversed and went higher. So that piece of inflation is still affecting consumers, considering before the war it was $67 a barrel. And we got inflation numbers today, the PCE, and they matched, but there were some pretty worrisome questions there. I mean, you started to see that year over year, up 4.1% for the headline. And that's not good. Again, that's really, really high compared to what the Fed would like it to be at, which is 2%. Year over year, core was certainly a match. I believe it was. No, actually, let's see, core 1.6%. That's capital expenditures for durables. So, you know, the PCE, I just think at 3.4% was a match, still too high.
But it's not a new fixation either. Trump's presidency effectively began with a lie about crowd size. After his 2017 inauguration, the administration falsely claimed it had drawn the largest audience ever to witness an inauguration. That dispute produced the famous phrase of alternate facts, and also established a very childish pattern that emerges. Trump saw photographs comparing his audience with Barack Obama's, and the images showed that Obama's crowd was larger. Trump just could not grasp that, so they attacked the photographs, attacked the media, and sent officials out to defend an indefensible claim. 9 years later, here we are. He is still arguing with empty space on the National Mall.
Heavy-duty machinery that keeps our economy rolling, our factories moving, and our industries growing all across the nation. And you are the men and women who put your pride and spirit into those beautiful words.
And the thing is, crowds matter to Trump because he treats visible attention as proof of legitimacy. A large crowd means he must be loved. A cheering crowd means that he's powerful. And by the way, this is why, if you heard from Barack Obama recently, his comments, they're so relevant, right? He discussed how Trump is obsessed with him and how strange it is. He joked that he has a suite in Trump's head. Serious point was about focus. Obama said that when he was president, he didn't have time to worry constantly about what his predecessor was doing. Then Obama hit the nail on the head. He said that Trump's behavior suggests somebody who is not focused on the American people or the job he is supposed to be doing.
You got to ask him what it is that
the obsession?
The obsession.
I know what it is.
I obviously, have a room in his head.
Rent free. You do everything with grace.
A suite in his head. But the thing about it is that was always clear to me. Look, first of all, when I was president, the last thing I had time to do was worry about what
somebody said,
or what my predecessor did.
Mm-hmm.
They're gone. I've got work to do.
You locked in.
It's hard to describe if you're doing the job right.
Mm-hmm.
Every day you've got 5-10 things that are real hard, and you have to be constantly focused. The idea that I'd be worrying about
came before
somebody who came before and me trying to measure, like, what's he done today? Look, constantly worrying about that is a strange thing to me. It shows me somebody who's not focused on the American people and the job they're supposed to do.
Which he's not. He is the president of spectacle. His focus is on his ballroom, his UFC event, fabricated stories about allies begging for pictures.
Well, some things deserve an immediate response. Donald Trump's statements are completely made up. I'm frankly astonished. I don't know why the President of the United States behaves like this towards his allies. It is not the first time, moreover. I can only say it is disappointing that he does not show the same determination with the enemies of the West and of the United States, whose leaders he instead treats with far greater indulgence. There is one thing he should remember. Neither I nor Italy ever beg.
It's all to try and present this image that he is way more popular than he is. Image over substance, which is why crowd sizes are always triggering for him.
What you hear him talking about is his inauguration crowd being smaller than mine. After 4 years, that's what he's still worrying about. Let it go. What is his obsession with crowd size? Does he have nothing better to worry about? Did no one come to his birthday party when he was a kid? Most of all, Donald Trump wants us to think that this country is hopelessly divided between us and them. Between the, quote, real Americans who support him, of course, and the outsiders who don't. The enemies within. Because Donald Trump understands, and he's not wrong about this, that dividing people, making them angry, will boost his chances of being elected. It's not good for the country, but it might improve his odds.
When his focus should be on the issues plaguing the country. Americans are out here thinking about groceries, rent, medical bills, gas. The Trump's administration are staging military flyovers, building temporary monuments on the White House lawn, installing a Ferris wheel, and transforming the National Mall into another partisan spectacle. Then the president is upset because television cameras seem to show empty areas. And that is a disconnect here. To Donald Trump, the image always matters more than the result.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.